Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back with another Fortnite tips and tricks video for you guys. And in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to win more solos here in Season 6, and as well give you guys some really good tips and tricks to go along with that. And before we get into the video, I'm going to be launching up another V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want to win a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you have to do is to drop a like in this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on my notifications so you're notified for every single new video, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. The winner will be winning 2,000 V-Bucks, so make sure you guys enter the giveaway. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to give you guys some really good tips and tricks to help you guys win some more solo games here for Season 6. And the first off, I was going to land tilted towers in this gameplay, but there was a ton of people landing here and I didn't get the best drop. So one thing I did, probably the first tip I can give you guys, if you guys get a really bad drop, or maybe you can't land to a building, if you see a ton of people going there and people are going every single building like tilted towers in this game, because in tilted towers there's a lot of times where there can be a moderate amount of people and there's a times there could be a ton of people, and this is one of those games where every single house was just stacked with people, so there was really no chance of me trying to go inside of it, try to get lucky enough to get a shotgun or something, and then try to fight like 3 people at the exact same time. I'm probably gonna die. So one thing I did is I just ran out of tilted completely, and this is something that I do a lot of times. Say if I'm in even if I'm in like salty or retail, if there's a lot of people, or even if I'm in that places, I get enough loot, I take a couple of fights and I'm really low and I need shields, and I know there's other people in retail or salty. What I would do is I would drop out of that location, because if I stay in the location, I know the next gunfight I was going to get into, I was going to get destroyed, especially when I had like 15 health. So what I did was I just completely dipped out of that area. And for this game in tilted towers, a place that you can go to find a good amount of loot that's probably unlooted, and that's what I would recommend. If you guys get screwed over going in a location, try to find the next closest place to where you could find minis, or you could find any type of heals that probably hasn't been looted. And a lot of times factories aren't even looted, but say if factories are looted, a lot of times the RV park that's behind it really isn't looted majority of times, and you can usually find a chest there, and that's probably your best bet of finding any type of heals. So if you guys are missing some heals, or maybe you think you're going to get screwed over or have no health after a gunfight in that location, what you can do is just dip out of the location, go to the next closest place where you think there could possibly be loot, because after the beginning, so say after you load up your entire area, say you go salty, you finish going in salty, right after you go out of salty, every single other place like retail, pleasant, all those houses are going to be looted, so there's no possible chance of finding any type of like heals. Maybe you could find bandages if you're lucky, but you're really not going to find any shields at all. People don't drop shields typically, so your best bet is go to a location where you could possibly find minis or find heals, or you have to kill other players. And if you have like 5 or 10 health and you just have no heals, you know those games where you just can't find any heals at all, this is your best bet. So another tip to help you guys out to win more solo games is something that I like to call playing for heals. And I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. So basically, when I play for heals, it means that say if I'm in a gunfight, a guy tags me a little bit or does any sort of damage to me, I usually play for the heal. Say like if I have minis, I would try to pop the minis before I fight the guy. That is a really good way to play if you guys don't want to get screwed over, or maybe you guys aren't as aggressive players as I usually play, because sometimes I like to play all out aggressive, but a lot of times it can cost me, because if I'm fighting guys and I don't have that much health, I can get screwed over very, very quickly, and sometimes it just really isn't the best decision to play that aggressive in that situation. But what you can do a lot of times, it can guarantee you have the best gunfights possible, is just to play for heals. So every single time that you get shot at, or maybe you lose a little bit of shield and you have extra shield saved up, just find an opportunity to pop that shield. That could be going down in the build fight, boxing yourself in, taking a heal, or maybe even building up above the guy to pop a heal, just doing anything you can, so every time you fight the guy or get into an engagement with them, you have the most amount of health possible, so it eliminates the chances of getting one pump dramatically, or just getting completely shredded. This is something that I've started to do a little bit more, because especially when I'm choking my games and I'm not going on a win streak, and I feel like I'm just not winning a lot of games, one thing I do is just play a little bit slower and play for heals. Make sure that every time I fight the other player that I'm going against, I have the most amount of health I possibly can have, because I don't want to get screwed over into a gunfight where I'm playing really, really aggressive and then I die, because if I had a little bit more heals, I probably would have won the gunfight. In each and every gunfight that you go into, you pretty much have 3 main objectives every single time you go into a gunfight in solos, duos, or squads. And that is the first being you want to kill the player with taking the least amount of damage possible while also using the least amount of mats possible. And of course you want to win the gunfight. So the first thing, you want to take the least amount of damage possible. That also means taking the least amount of damage so you have shields to leave with, and that's really important. You always want to make sure you have shields on you, because if in each and every gunfight you're getting tagged the mess out of and you have no shield going into that mid to late game where you're facing other players with 200 health, that's where you can get really screwed over. Because if you're fighting guys with 200 health and you really only have 100 health, or maybe even less, maybe even 75, you can get really screwed over. So you always want to try to win the gunfight with taking the least amount of damage, and that can mean taking peek shots, not challenging gunfights so you know you really shouldn't challenge, and also making a really aggressive push when someone has 200 health. That's probably a really bad thing. That's something that I need to work on too, is playing overly aggressive when someone has 200 health, because that means sometimes if you're getting pinched from the back or something and you have to make the play, then of course go for it. But if you're in solos and you have time to kind of fill out your gunfight, your best bet really isn't to push all out with the shotgun right away, especially if they have 200 health, because you can't one tap them and they're guaranteed, as long as they have some decent accuracy, to one pump you back, and you can lose all of your health as well. So if you have the time, you probably shouldn't go in guns blazing to every single gunfight against players you haven't shot at before or you don't even know how much health they have. Of course, if it's right after a gunfight and you know they're probably pretty low, then of course go all out aggressive, try to end the gunfight as quick as possible. And the second thing was to win the gunfight with using the least amount of mats possible, and that's also very important as well, because you don't want to be struggling in the late game with low mats, because I guarantee you're going to run into one team spraying and you're done. That's going to be it. And even if you have mats, one team spraying is already bad enough, but having no mats and trying to face a team that's full of AR spammers, SMG spammers, P90, RPGs, you're guaranteed to run out of mats instantly. You're probably going to die because of it as well. So just making sure you're not ripping through your mats 24/7, you should be in a good spot, and that could be either spam building, just unnecessary building that you really don't have to build, and that also can be going into build fights when you don't even have that many mats, and just build fights in general. Build fights use up a ton of mats, and if you don't end it quickly, if you drag out a gunfight for a really long time, you're gonna low on mats. So build fights and then dragging on the gunfight for a really long time, because the longer you're in the gunfight, the more chance you have of losing health, and also the more chance you have of losing more mats. So you always want to try to end the gunfight as quick as possible, so that you can have the amount of mats you're going to need against those teams that are absolutely spraying and abusing the guns in the game. Thank God I really didn't run into too many of those players. I really didn't give them a chance to do that kind of stuff in this game. One thing that I've started to use that's been really effective is the RPG. I'm not even gonna lie, I've been absolutely shredding with this, and no lie, it's probably one of the easiest weapons to use in the game, and I think it's like a 150 damage shot. Just look at the shot right here, came down on top of him, hit him with my RPG. Easiest kill of my life right there. All I had to do was jump down. It was another guy, hit him again with my RPG. If you just hit a guy with an RPG, they're going to be down to less than 50 health, and it's just from there a straight melt. So RPG is really good. It's one of those guns that if you just get one tag on them with the RPG, they're going to be really screwed over because of how much damage it does. Same things with other guns like the traps and also the grenades. One thing I would also recommend trying to use is the traps. I've been using that in a lot of my gameplays, is if someone's in my 1x1 or someone's in right next to me, I can just throw a trap up on the wall, on both walls. And think about this, the traps, what happens is if you're on the complete opposite, if you're on the opposite wall of where the trap is, it's not going to hit you. So one thing to get used to is just spam trapping. If a guy's in your 1x1, just spam trap. Throw some on the wall, throw some on the floor, so throw some on the ceiling. Throw traps everywhere, and I guarantee you're going to get the kill. This is something that I've been doing a lot recently. I haven't really been doing it too much, probably in the past weeks, but now I'm really starting to use the traps a lot, and I've gotten so many kills with it. I've had so many clutch opportunities. Anything that can do a lot of damage really quick is going to be very good in this game. I was also planning on giving you guys a few in-game tips right here, but I'm not going to lie, the last guy that I killed probably looked like this was his first season. So I was playing really slow for like 2 minutes straight because it was kind of in the middle of the woods, and I don't like that people usually camp around trees and stuff. But once I saw this last guy, I looked at this guy was right behind the tree next to the storm. I honestly felt kind of bad for the guy because this guy was so confused and so lost the entire time. You guys are about to see, I was just messing with this guy. So I went to go for like a tag on him just to see how much health he had. I think he had some shield as well. I really don't understand. This guy has this guy's a master at hide and seek, because this guy got all the way to second place playing like this. Congrats to this guy, because this guy, look at this guy, completely clueless. I feel really bad for this guy. So I'm here just messing with this guy. I was gonna go for a trap kill, but he just swift dodged my trap right there. I don't know what was going on. So I really wanted to go for something stupid for the final kill, because why not? This guy was so lost. So I'm just building up. I'm gonna go to the circle, but then I realized this guy's probably gonna die to the circle, because this guy was so confused. He probably didn't even know that the storm did damage. So I'm trying to look for this guy, and I see him right down here, and I'm gonna get one shot on him with my heavy, and then I'm just gonna go ooga booga on this dude with my pickaxe. And then this guy's looking the other way. This guy is so confused. I feel so bad for this guy. I get the victory royale on that guy. Had to give him a GG. I felt pretty bad for that guy. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications so you're notified for every single new video. And alright, guys, I will see you in the next video.